Hi everyone, this is Teresa with Owl's Nest Quilters and welcome to FYI. For our next few sessions we'll be discussing stabilizers for regular sewing and also for embroidery. Today's session is going to be on Tearaway Stabilizers. What I'd like to do is give you a little information on what they are and how they're used. There's some specific uses for them, also some pretty generic uses, but they can be adapted to many different types of projects. So for instance, if you're doing a decorative stitch on a blouse or a skirt, you will want to cut this stabilizer into strips, lay it under the feed dogs to the wrong side of the fabric, and do your decorative stitch on top. This keeps the stitch from puckering or buckling the fabric and gives you a nice, clean, even decorative stitch. If you want to use it for embroidery, the most common use for a plain tearaway stabilizer as what we call a floater. So if you're doing embroidery, the general rule of thumb is you want your base stabilizer or the main stabilizer you're going to be stitching on with your fabric, and then if it goes over 8,000 stitches, you want to use what's called a floater, which is one layer of a regular tearaway stabilizer. And then for each 10,000 stitches after that, you'll add another floater. It just depends on the stitch count of your design. So when you're selecting a tearaway stabilizer, be very attentive to the quality. There are several different qualities, as there is with anything. But what you're looking for in a stabilizer of the tearaway type is something that's very firm. This example here, it may be a little bit thicker and look like it would work better as opposed to this thinner tearaway. But when I feel these, if you were to feel them, the texture is very different. The lighter one has a crisper texture. It's going to support your stitches, whatever type of stitching that is, a little bit better. So if you look at this tearaway on this side here, when I tear it, what will happen is you'll get something going on called feathering or whiskering. So you get these tiny little hairs that stick out from the tear, and this can be a little unsightly. It's not the end of the world, but you know, it just can be a little bit unsightly on the back side of the embroidery. Whereas this particular stabilizer, when I tear this one, I get a nice, clean, even edge. There's not a lot of whiskering or feathering, and it's a very easy, clean tear. So this particular stabilizer does not give me this thick whiskering like this brand does. So be aware of the brands and look for something that has a nice, easy, clean tear. If you're ever not sure about what you need for stabilizer for a project, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at Owl's Nest Quilters, and we'll be very happy to steer you in the right direction.
Owl's Nest Quilters, because you love to create. Yeah.